So I'd like to welcome everybody back to the old City Hall, which is now our community center and our council chamber. Tonight we have two guest speakers, two presentations, and then Roger from LeMaze will also be speaking during the mayor's speak tonight. But first up is the PUD within Cope, and
this is our general manager, Skylar Burkhart.
thank you. So I'll let you take it over. Okay.
All right, well, thank you, Mayor Springer and council members and city staff and public. It's great to be here. This is an opportunity for the PUD to deliver a annual report on what the utility is to, what some of the issues we're facing, some of the projects we're working on, things like that. It's something that we do 4 or 5 times a year, usually go out to our council partners, our partners at the ports, and other government entities, just to share again what your utility is doing. This is notable because you're our first of the year, and our first since we turned 86 years young. And Public Power has been part of Grays Harbor for that long, and it's as we'll talk about here, it's a great partnership that we have with our community and our county and our customers. So any questions that you have as we move through, Skylar will be interjecting a little bit as well as we move through, but without further ado, we will overcome my technical issue. There we go. All right, so first of all, we'd like to always lead off with talking about our mission, which has been brought down to just those 13 words: to serve our community with high-value utility services at the lowest practical cost. Now, you'll notice that the word profit is not in there. It's because the Grays Harbor PUD is a not-for-profit organization. Our budget is based on the amounts that it costs to provide the services, energy and electricity and telecommunications to our customers. We don't have shareholders that we have to give bonuses to. The budget that we set is the amount that it costs to get the services to you. So that is what we do. There are other elements outside factors that can drive those costs, but we try to keep them as low as is practical to allow us to still give those services to you. Just a little bit about the utility. As I mentioned, we are into our 86th year. We were formed by a vote of the people in November of 1938 and officially opened our doors almost exactly 86 years ago, on January the 16th of 1940. We have currently, coming into this year, or just coming out of a year in which we provided over 875,000 megawatt hours sold to our customers. We're currently operating under a $123.5 million budget. Just a little bit about the utility there as far as the infrastructure that we've got. We are a telecommunications and an electrical utility with about 1,700 miles of overhead and underground power lines, 36 substations that you drive by, 350 miles of fiber optic cable, and we're also a fairly large employer in the county with 165 full-time employees. The thing that makes the PUD different from other utilities in the investor-owned utility type is that we are public, and that we have a 3-member board that is elected by the citizens of Grays Harbor. They serve 6-year staggered terms. Commissioner Ari Callahan is our District 1 representative. He's got East County, Montesano Elma out in the South Elma area, and also a little into Central Park. Commissioner Dave Timmons is in District number 2. He is most of Aberdeen, the South Beach, and then Commissioner John Martin, and one of those weird little geographic quirks, has Hoquiam, North Beach, and into Cosmopolis. It's again, just kind of a weird bit of geography, the way that the maps worked out. But Commissioner John Martin, who's actually up for election this year, is your District 3 commissioner, and the commissioner that represents the Cosmopolis area. So, glare right there, so I'm trying to read this here. So as I mentioned, some of the high points as we enter into 2026, the PUD was able to pass its budget in November of last year in which we did not have a customer rate. Thank you so much. That's much better. We did not have a customer rate increase. You're hearing a lot about prices going up. Affordability is a major issue in the world right now. People talk about it a lot on gas prices, food prices, everything. The price seems to be going up. So we were very proud that our commissioners were able to pass our budget in November without a rate increase. Actually, if you go back to 2020, we have raised our rates twice between now and then, and it's only gone up 5%. So we've been able to keep those prices low. It's been because of conservative budgeting. We have had some costs that have been a little lower than we had expected. Revenues came in a little higher than we expected, and we were able to absorb a little through our reserves and not have to ask customers to increase our rates. So that's something that we're very happy about. We also received clean audits from the State Auditor's Office on accountability and financial statements. Transparently, and that passing grade from the auditor's office lets you know that that trust is very well placed. We are also coming out of a year in which we approved a new contract with Bonneville Power Administration. We are what is called a load following customer of Bonneville, in that we purchase all of our power from Bonneville, and basically we get what we need. And we used to be what was called a slice block customer, which meant we could buy it, and if anything we didn't use, we could sell it on the open market. That exposed us to what, if you've been following in the news for the last 20 years, is a very, very volatile energy market, and it impacted our budgeting. So by becoming a load following member, that created better budget stability, and the new contract that we have placed. I don't know if you want to, Skylar, that's your area. I don't know if you want to touch on any of the high points of the new power contract that we've got.
Sure. So it comes at a lower rate per megawatt hour that we buy. And being load following means that what you and everybody else uses here on the harbor basically gets measured, and that's all we buy. It's really easy to understand. That's how your house meter works. You know, we read your meter once a month and bill you. That's how the whole PUD now works, and that was very different from before. And the other thing to point out is, besides the stability it adds and the predictability, is it's almost a 20-year contract. I signed that here a few months ago. It was very momentous because it goes through the year 2044. So it's a very long-term contract, and we're locked into that, and it's a good deal. So thank you.
We also had 2025 marked by a bunch of departures, most notably our finance director, Catherine Skolrud, who, when we talk about the solid financial foundation that we're on right now, she and Skylar, our commissioners, and the accounting office were really instrumental in setting us up on that solid foundation. She just retired. We've had a number of positions that have gone over in our substation department. We just had our power manager depart, so we've a lot of new old faces going out, a lot of new faces coming in, but that's life. it's renewal. So as I mentioned, we are a telecommunications utility as well as an electric utility. That means that the telecommunications services that you get from internet service providers, is running through utility infrastructure. We're what's called a wholesale utility provider. We provide the infrastructure, and nearly a dozen internet service providers around Grays Harbor actually provide the internet service. That's something that we've been doing since 1998. Started off as a way for us to keep in touch with our substations and be able to connect and disconnect or turn on and turn off power and have better service that way. And it's turned into a pretty good revenue stream. As you can see there, it's brought in last year, they estimate $815,000. That's been gradually going up. So it's something that we're working to have it be self-sufficient. We made connections to 57 new customers, worked with local governments, including the city of Cosmopolis, to improve their telecommunications service. And if you drive out through the South Elma area towards Oakville, you'll notice a lot of work going on there. We're actually expanding our service to that area. There was, during the, actually before COVID, a report that area was just chronically unserved and underserved, and in some cases completely unserved. People were having to drive all the way into Elma just to send an email. And then in 2020, people were asked to live their lives electronically. and they did not have the service out there. They couldn't do it. So people were going in at that point to Elma to do homework and book doctor's appointments and make banking adjustments and things like that. So we were able to get a grant through the state broadband office and work with a contractor to expand our service out to that area. They've pretty much laid most of the fiber, and they're now working to get the connections made again to, we hope, around 500, more than 500 customers in that area. So that is something that we're always looking to do to find if there's money available that can allow us to, again, reasonably and responsibly grow our system. We're going to investigate it. This was one where our telecom business director and our telecom director, or core services director who oversees the telecom office, was able to find the money for it. And we were able to get $6.9 million from the state broadband office to expand that fiber. Any questions on that? Anything so far? Okay. The PUD, we have been since 1940 a energy utility, and that is what we're probably best known for. In 2025, our crews were busy out in the field working to replace and strengthen the system. They replaced 462 poles. That really doesn't sound like that many when you consider the fact that we were looking at over 30 to 35,000 poles that we have throughout the county and over 1,700 miles of overhead and underground line. So it's a big system for them to maintain. So our crews, they're not sitting around waiting for something to break. They're out there working to maintain the system and build it and strengthen it. They continue to work on substation improvements. If you drive out towards East County and go through Central Park, you'll notice a new substation going in there. A year and a bit away from going hot on that one and bringing that one online. That'll improve service for that area. If you headed out to the South Beach area, you noticed over the summer, you probably noticed a major pole replacement project going on there where we had to move our poles off of the roadway and out into some marshland. Not the stablest of land to build on, so that was a major endeavor. Worked with the contractor on that. That was something that we had to do. The state told us that we had to do that. We decided that if we're going to have to do that kind of project, we're going to make it one that's going to last. And that project, those poles, 5 poles out there now are expected to last possibly up to 80 years, providing service to the South Beach. And we continue to focus on vegetation management. That's just a fancy way of saying we don't want trees growing into our lines. Underneath, they mow. Off to the side, they cut and get rid of danger trees that could come down and take down lines in storms. We've been working on 4-year cycles. I think we're on our 3rd since Skylar and I started there at the utility. We've worked very hard to make sure that the trees that make us the evergreen state don't threaten our system. Unfortunately, that doesn't always work because we live on the Washington coast and we have storms coming ashore. We don't actually have our 2025 numbers finalized yet, but we're coming off of a year in 2024 in which we had 390 outages. That was up from our 2023 totals. It just kind of emphasizes the need to make sure that we're constantly maintaining and working on the vegetation management of our system. We spent over $16 million on capital projects to strengthen the system. Anyone who was here in November and December remembers that we kind of went through the end of the year with a major bang. We had 2 major storms come through. One took out 30,000 customers in November, the other took out 20,000 customers in December. Impressively though, our crews were able to get the power back on to that first one in 2 days and power back on to the second one in just over 1 day. So they were out there working, in some cases, I think 55 hours straight to get the power back on. We are also, at this time, adopting a new outage management system. If you go to our website, ghpud.org, you can click on the outage center and actually see a map that will show you where outages are, the number of people that were out. You can also register on there to receive outage notifications. You can follow us on Facebook. All of those things are ways that we can keep you notified as to what's happening with the system. If the lights go out, we do want you to call and let the utility know that the power is out. But we've got a lot of tools for you to monitor what's happening and how we are working to get the power back on when it does go out. As I said, we've built the system as strong as it can be. Every now and then, though, there's going to be major storms that come through, and we're going to get the power back on as quickly and safely as we can. So in addition to communications, I'm also the government relations director. So that involves working with our partners in Montesano cities, also in Olympia and Washington, D.C. on energy legislation and trying to make sure that bad bills don't pass and good bills do pass. We are right now operating under what's called the Clean Energy Transformation Act. That requires that we be completely carbon-free in our energy by 2045. It's great because, as you can see there, we're almost there already. We get the majority of our power from the Bonneville Power Administration, hydroelectric on the Columbia and Snake River dams, and also about 10% of our power from the Columbia Generating Station, which is a nuclear power plant in the Tri-Cities. All of those are non-emitting resources, they're carbon-free. So we are already 90% of the way there. At 10% is still, we've got some natural gas, and also the Bonneville Power Administration, if they need to get energy, they're gonna get it where they can get it, and sometimes that is carbon emitting. We are working to work away from that, but that's Washington right now. That legislation was passed by the state legislature, and we have to comply with it. We get audited on that every couple of years, and that's skip down one spot there. The challenges of new energy policies. It's well intended. It's not always done with consultation as to how it's going to impact us. Is it going to cost us more money? Most likely. But we continue to work with our legislators to make sure that they know the impact that's going to have on you, our customers. So we always are advocating for the lowest cost possible to provide our energy services to you, and also reliability. Right now, you're hearing a lot of talk, I'm sure, about hydroelectric dams being taken out of the Columbia and the Snake Rivers. That would be a devastating blow to our system. Hydroelectric is by far the most reliable, the most affordable, and it's also non-emitting. So it ticks a lot of the boxes that we look for when it comes to our energy system. And we work with Bonneville and our partners at the federal and state level to make sure that they know just how important that system is to the reliable and affordable power that we provide to our customers. So moving into this year, as I mentioned, we're working with the state legislature to, the legislative session started on the 12th, I think, of January. So they've been at it for a little over a week now. We've testified on a number of bills that we hope, a couple that we hope will pass, some that we are working to hope that it doesn't pass. But we work with our legislators. We're well positioned in Grays Harbor. We've got 6 elected officials in the 19th and 24th district, and we've got good relationships with them. So we work with them on that. We're going into year 86 with a $16.2 million capital budget that we're going to be working on, again, to strengthen the system. Again, we remain compliant with the clean energy policies that the state legislature has put in place. A lot of that involves making sure that low-income customers are aware of the programs that we have in place to assist them, whether it be our senior disabled discount program, federally funded low-income home energy assistance programs, or LIHEAP, that the federal government provides. We want our customers to know about all of those things, and all that information available, by the way, on our website, again, at ghpud.org. And then we work with our federal legislators and trade groups to maintain the reliability of the Columbia River system. We don't want to see those dams go. If one day something as reliable, as affordable, and as non-emitting comes along, we could talk about it. But until then, hydroelectric energy is the best option that we have out there. It's the cheapest, it's the most reliable, and it's the one that's been powering the Grays Harbor PUD for 86 years. And that, in a nutshell, is your Grays Harbor PUD at 86 years. And Skylar and I are happy to answer any questions that you may have about the utility. I know, Mayor Springer, you had one.
I know that we talked about the services that you provide, and I know that Council Member Darcy will be in touch with you, but if you'd like to elaborate a little bit more on some of that, that would be helpful.
Yeah, what Mayor Springer is talking about is our energy services program, and that is essentially energy efficiency and ways that your home can basically retain the energy that is being put out to heat it. We have home energy audits that are provided free of charge. They can come out and examine your home and say that, okay, you've got leaky ductwork here, these windows are aging, you're losing some energy there. They will tell you what needs to happen. There are rebates also that are available through the utility if you qualify. If you are told that you're doing a home improvement project, putting in new windows, putting in new ductwork, putting in new insulation, call the utility, find out beforehand, not after. Find out beforehand if you qualify for a rebate, and you can get all that information again on our website. But yeah, that's something that we know you're going to use our energy. We want to make sure that you're using it efficiently. And so, question from the public is good. Okay.
Yeah, my family owns property in Mason County, and it'd be through the PUD #1 up there. They're near Potlatch. And we get newsletters periodically, and there's been several times in there, and I don't know if I've missed them or if maybe our PUD has said anything, but it has to do with what you're talking about, the supply for the hydropower and stuff, how important it is that we remain keeping that and not going totally green on everything, because we may end up with brownouts in the peak times, and that's a real thing. They equated it to California and what they have to do, and if this state continues doing what they want to do, we could be in real big problems.
Yeah, we don't want to say we told you so, but we're going to say we told you so when that happens. Or if
Because
that
there's
happens.
been several, and I think it's from the manager up there, that writes in their letter that comes with our bills.
Kristen Mastow, love her.
And have we done anything like that here
Oh.
to make people aware within our bills or anything like that?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, we send out a newsletter every month with our bill. So if you receive a physical bill in the mail, there's a newsletter on there. It's also available online. We share it through our social media. But just recently, we have seen a kind of a dawning of awareness in the Snohomish, King, Pierce County area that what utilities have been saying for the better part of 2 decades, that if you take away hydro, we're going to be looking at a major reliability issue, or it's called resource adequacy. And
And the
it's not,
expense is gonna be out of this world.
yes, yeah, it's not a great term, but it basically means we don't have enough energy. Or
Yeah,
do we have enough energy? And if we get rid of the hydroelectric system, we're not gonna have enough energy. We have enough right now, but everyone is using more energy right now, whether it be vehicle electrification, home electrification, data centers for AI are just sucking the system dry right now, or starting to suck the system dry. So if we do nothing but continue to rely on the system that we have right now, eventually we're gonna get to a point where demand is going to outdraw supply. If we start taking away the resources like the dams on the river, we're gonna be in even worse situation. And like I said, there has suddenly been a dawning of that up in Seattle. The Seattle Times has actually put out some editorials saying that the system is not there to support the new green energy system that the state legislature wants. So we're starting to see people realize that maybe the utilities have known what they're talking about for a while.
thank you.
Excuse me.
Kind of follows on what Mary was saying, what you were saying. Is the infrastructure built up good enough to support going to electric vehicles?
Well, as a driver of an electric vehicle, I would say that more is definitely needed. There are certain brands, Tesla has a really great network. And it's the model that I think that the rest of them should be following. My ideal would be to see electric charging stations as prevalent as you see gas stations. We're a long way from that. But if electric vehicles are to actually take their place and be the next step in transportation, we definitely have to beef up the system. It's not there. It's growing, but it is growing, I'd say, slower than it needs to be for electric vehicles to continue to grow. You're seeing lots of people get home chargers, which is great. It's what we have, and then we can charge out on the road when we need to, but definitely need more.
And you definitely need the infrastructure take care of that home charger and out on the road charger and everything, and the entire grid, correct? Needs to be, that entire grid needs to build to support all these charging stations?
I don't know about the grid, but as far as more stations, we definitely need that. As far as the grid goes, Skylar can touch on that.
Yeah, so you're talking about sort of the bulk supply. Remote generation in some cases has to make it a long ways through transmission lines. That is the same answer that Ian gave on a broader scale, that it's not there right now. Because the electricity system is so big and it's grown slowly over time, it's worked okay. You build a bigger line or a substation and it can supply load for years to come. But if all of a sudden you try to accelerate that, you somehow have to build that system more quickly and it's difficult. Hard to permit, very expensive, and so that needs to catch up to be able to support all that. So definitely the same issue as a local level or in your home that the broader area would need, and those items being bigger take more time and money to build. Everyone's aware of it. The great thing about it is whether it's electric vehicles or data centers, if the system isn't there to support it, they're just going to have to wait for that to be built. So there's a natural balance there between what the system can currently serve and future needs.
Gentleman, Councilmember Nguyen is online and he has raising his hand. He has a question.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate your mention of the power outages due to our beautiful downed trees. As a city, we're exploring an ordinance to put forward a new plan for city-approved trees. And I was wondering if PUD provides any kind of guidance around tree plan. I mean, we're looking at, much smaller trees than the ones that cause issues for power lines, but still interested in any guidance that the PUD might provide.
Yes, we certainly can put you in touch with our superintendent that manages the vegetation management. He's not an arborist per se, but he definitely can recommend how close to lines trees can be planted and what species would be safer than not.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
You'd mentioned dipping into revenue reserves in lieu of a rate hike. So how much was that and how much do you have in reserves?
We have really healthy reserves right now, but of course we have to be prudent with that. We don't want to keep drawing them down over time. That results in a real steep decline and we'd be in trouble. So in 2025, we don't have the exact number yet because we're so early in this year, but we had a financial situation where we expected to put a few $1 million into our reserves. And so when we set the budget for 2026, we knew we were going to draw a few million out. And of course, we work with the board on that, elected officials, right? And we said, we think that's a fair trade. Like, we're going to break even over the course of 2 years, roughly. It's not exactly zero, but it's close. And so that was the approach. And so we, again, are drawing a few million out, just as we expected to put a few million in at the end of last year. So that's the rough numbers.
And roughly what do you have?
We have about 100 days in cash, so more than 3 months, which is a real healthy margin. We're required to have 90 days, so we're a little above that.
Could we have a few more minutes for questions before we move on to our next presentation? Any other questions this evening? And I think Ian is, as I said, going to be working with Councilman Darcy to get information for programs and things that the PUD offers to our citizens. So if you know someone that may be eligible, please reach out. Mary, you had a question? Okay.
So I want to say thank you very much for having us here. Ian did a great job. He's a tough act to follow. I don't have much to add, but I just want to emphasize safety real quickly. If you see down power lines or low power lines, and even if you're not sure what kind of lines they are, please call our dispatcher. You can call 911 as well, and they'll patch you through to us. We have 24/7 dispatch center, unlike many businesses, right? They might be open many hours. We always have a person working at the PUD. So it's better to be safe than sorry to call. We don't want anybody to get hurt. We don't want any damage to the system we can avoid. So again, on safety, please give us a call if you see down power lines. And if you have any questions at all about the PUD, avail a program, how we operate, any kind of question, finances, we're a public entity too, and we will share any information that you want to know about us. And if you can help make us better, we're doing something wrong, please tell us and we'll make the improvement and we thank you. So
For goodness sakes, if you see down power lines, stay away.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very
Thank you.
much.
Thank you.
You're welcome to stay for the rest of the meeting. And tonight, Dylan, I'll let you introduce yourself.
You need me to
help with that?
Oh, yeah.
No, well, okay. So thanks for having us here tonight. My name's Darren King. I'm a city councilman, a citizen of Causey. And I was a police officer. I started volunteering here in Cosmopolis like 28 years ago, probably. And we've been doing is Mayor Springer has been helping, trying to work this out with the city of Aberdeen and what to do with our law enforcement services. She asked me if I'd join the Public Safety Committee, which I did, and I've been kind of helping her a little bit, try to figure out how we were going to handle this, because it's obviously devastating to the community when we lose the police department. No one wants that to happen. But what we want to do is, you could, follow that negative trail and, the sky's falling and, we can't handle it, what are we gonna do, and all this complaining. And so there were a couple people at a different time that I was thinking, well, how I could, from my experience, and educate the public, and trying to figure out how I could do that to kind of rally us a little bit. And at the same time, Stephanie and Mike Brown were working on that, and we got together, and so we came up with a program to try to, we can sit back and do nothing and get what we get, or we can organize, come up with some things to do that have been proven and unite us, and we can make this better. And it can be better, but it's all gonna be up to us. And that's what our goal is. Our goal is to help the city with this transition and rally people, get some education out there, and succeed at this and make it better. So the more we're looking at this stuff, we are seeing there's other things we can do with it too, which we'll get into. This isn't the full presentation, this is 30 minutes. So we named our group Cosmopolis Community Cares, and we're trying to get people in the mode. Here we had kind of a Mayberry thing where, if there was a crime that happened, you just knew in 50 minutes a police car was gonna come around, and you could report it then, or you could walk down to the station, or call the station, or call Heath or Nick on their cell phone and report it, right? So we kind of got away from reporting the normal way. So what we're trying to get people is we're trying to go back to the basics, and these are things that Commander Timmons from Aberdeen is over here. He's going to tell you these same things. We worked together for 26, 27 years, and we're just going to try to get those instilled and take care of our community. So the first thing you do is you want to be observant, not just in your neighborhood, but we're all part of Causey, and take care of our neighbors. If you see something, you see it, report it, right? First of all, you're going to be observant, you're going to look around for it, and you're going to call. But what you're going to do is you're going to call dispatch or 911, depending on the situation. I called this weekend. I didn't want to, but I said, if I'm preaching this to everybody, I better be able to do the same thing. I could have just called one of my buddies and said, hey, can you come check this car out? But, so, we want to call, before we're like putting on Facebook or telling our neighbors or just watching and not reporting it. If it's something you think it is, call and report it, because it's tracked. It could be related to something else. It could be something that they've been, maybe a car, a person they've been looking for. Maybe they're actively looking for them right now. See, call. Once you did those, then we want to communicate, share it, and we have a thing that Stephanie will talk about how we're going to do that and how we're going to kind of divide the city up and report these things and follow up on them. So, and we put there a neighborhood watch group and more. there's a lot of things we can do to get the community excited about this, as bad as it is to lose a department. I went through the academy with Heath Lehman, and he will be missed, but we gotta do what we can to make our community safe. So I covered most of that, but we're citizens, business people are included in that. We just wanna make sure everyone that lives here, works here, visits here, we wanna make sure that it's a safe community and that we have that reputation. Like everyone knows, before it was, you're not gonna speed through Kazi because you're gonna get pulled over, right? Don't do crime in Kazi because there's eyes everywhere, there's cameras, they're watching you, don't go there, you know? We send that message, we're gonna be good. So the founders, I guess, we kind of got together working, me, Stephanie, Mike Brown, who's working, couldn't be here tonight. We rallied a couple other people. We got a secretary, Celeste McMillan, and Kim Gurna, who's gonna be our treasurer. We've got both hills, those will be 2 sections, and then we'll have down below, we'll have 2 sections. And we're looking for moderators, leaders, that when we have something, they can kind of watch the, if they want to have their own Facebook group in their zones, they can do that. Because something maybe that happens down here by the county shop might not necessarily be important to somebody up on Franklin Hill. So, and it might be, but just someone that can filter those. You want the information to be pertinent, and you don't want to get overwhelmed with stuff, it's not like we're not gonna be selling cars, putting political thoughts on these things. There's no politics, it's just plain and simple, making Kazi safe, okay, and what they need to know. That way you're not gonna get overwhelmed with things. We'll go, I'm on the public safety committee, so I go to those meetings, so our mayor and I have already talked about when we get those issues and when the Aberdeen Police Department admin will meet once a week, right?
No.
Or I mean, once a month?
Once a month.
Then we'll get over, we'll go through the calls, and then we can report back to the community and, let them know, what's going on, what they need to be aware about of things we can do, changes we can do, things maybe why certain things weren't done. We did get spoiled here because Kazi isn't very busy, and you could get one call that an officer could work, or 2 or 3 officers could work for a week, It's not gonna be that way working with Aberdeen, but we're also gonna have like 30-some officers that are gonna be coming here in the detective unit if we have felonies, and follow-up, and we're gonna have parking enforcement, and we're gonna have animal control, and I've seen animal control here just the other day, but we're gonna be fine. We're gonna have a lot of services, and that's nothing to say anything about what Heath or Nick or any of those guys did wrong. It's just, we're gonna have more resources now that Aberdeen's here. And I have total faith in those guys. And then, we're gonna, public meetings, we can have,
We've been having,
what's that?
this is the ones that we have been having.
Yeah. We've already did one with the senior center. We did one with the Kazi Lions. We're gonna have one, we're gonna try to get one at the school, to have one at the school. And we're just gonna get this out here. There's now is that Facebook thing, you'll talk about that. Stephanie will talk about that. Go to the next one, I think. And, you wanna
Sure.
go there? Okay,
Yeah.
go ahead.
So, our Cosmopolis Community Cares, Facebook page is now launched. It is only open to citizens of Cosmopolis. No, sorry Aberdeen, sorry. Monty, you know, Elma or even Minnesota, I think we found one. But it is going to be strictly monitored to Cosmopolis residents only. It also will have, like Darren was saying, it won't be for, you know, for sale items or, you know, I need a job or anything like that. It will be strictly around Cosmopolis community. We might put out some announcements if we're doing any fairs or anything like that. However, it will be what's going on in Cosmopolis as far as the watch program.
I think we should probably add to it, says Cosmopolis residents, but if you're a business owner here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So we will let you, if you own but a business and live outside, we'll have you in there as well. It will be monitored not only from us as admins, but also from our leaders too. We won't have any availability for anonymous posts. So the one thing that we do cover in our meetings is how we report and why it's important to not be anonymous. However, if it's for a safety issue that you're like, hey, I did report this, but I don't feel comfortable, then we as admins will post it for you. But if you're going to post on our site, it won't have anonymous on there at all. Write our email down if you guys have any questions. Of course, on the last slide, we were still looking for leaders in areas. I'll move to how it's broken down. So what we did is we divided our city into 4 quadrants. So we're gonna be in zones, and this is really for just clear communication, because I live down here, you know, in the flats here. So a lot of things that happen down here might not impact people that live up on the hill. So just to kind of keep the noise to a minimum, and really understanding what's happening in your guys' area, we divided it up into 4 quadrants. So we did color coordinate them for future community involvement, like, you know, wearing t-shirts. If you live in purple, you get a purple t-shirt, possibly. It's gonna be so fun. So you guys will see the signs over there as well, so I'll move over to this one. Kelly Daniels from D4 is actually donating our signs. So right now we are in the process of finalizing those signs and looking for some donation of the poles. I know we went with Bill, I found 5 signs, posts that we can hang from the existing Crime Watch, but we are looking at about 18 signs that we want within the city itself. And then we are going to look at having 2 coming into the city on both sides, and we'll have to work with 811 and dig and make sure we're not, you know, burning any power lines. We are also looking at having stickers for our homes and our cars, just to kind of know, hey, this is a Cosmopolis resident, and really understand what zones we're in as well. Communication won't just be on social media. I know we just mentioned Facebook, but we're very, it is very important to us. I know not everybody is on Facebook, but communication with this group is a big deal. So we'll be putting flyers at City Hall, we'll be at the post office. I know Mayor, you guys will be doing the newsletter.
I'm gonna be doing a mayor monthly letter. You know, really, I feel like we've been really trying to communicate the last few years on every platform that we could find, and still we're not reaching enough for the citizens. So when our water bill goes out, you'll be getting a letter from the mayor, and there'll be updates on this, other events, maybe the PUD. We just wanna really keep citizens informed,
Yeah.
so yes.
Yep, and then we'll also be looking at, you know, your local businesses, maybe a flyer up there and stuff like that, so. This is the most exciting part that I get. He's like the whole police officer, you know, crime watch, but this is my biggest part. This isn't just a crime watch, it is really about keeping Cosmopolis, that tight-knit community that we have, and knowing our community. So we did the owls, really because it has a lot of fun engagement around it. So I'm excited, but we really want it to be more about neighbors helping neighbors and really bringing that small town feel back as well. So we'll be looking at ways we can help each other, maybe weeding some houses for people, elderly people that might not be able to do it for themselves, or cleaning our sidewalks, or just really helping each other out in the community that we live. I think we have a lot of people that have been here for years and years and years, and then we have a lot of newer people like myself that have only been here for 7 years, 8 years, and just kind of getting to know everybody and really being a good community together. And then just basically we'll be meeting once a month, maybe once every, with the citizens to kind of see where we're at and what we're doing, or any suggestions you all have. I know I'm on the COSI citizens page, and then the Cosmopolis 985-7 page. I know we have a lot of amazing citizens out here, and a lot of people have some great ideas. So all of those suggestions are welcome, and we really just want everybody in the community to participate and be part of it. The area leaders and moderators basically will be the key person. So everybody in that area, the purple area, the blue area, the orange, and the green, will know who your area leader and moderator is. So as we're saying, once you see something, you call and report it. You'll have the number to your leader or leaders so that you can report it to them as well. They're going to be really helping us be partnering with Aberdeen Police to get the information back. That's the one piece, that we lack, is getting what happened to that person that, we caught going through all of our cars. Did we apprehend them, or are they still out there, right? So just that communication back. I lost my train of thought here. Sorry. They also will be part of the public safety meetings as citizens, just kind of coming in and seeing what's going on in their area so that they can report it back to their area. But also, if there's things in their area that you guys are reporting to them, they can also get it to the Aberdeen Police Station as well. Good. And I'm really excited for Who's Who's Night. That's going to be my first event, so. Awesome, and that's the end of us. So if you guys know anybody that's like, hey, I'm out driving at 2 o'clock in the morning and I would love to be a leader or moderator for your guys' group, please have them email us. We are getting a lot of like, yes, here's my information, I want to be involved, but nobody really standing up and saying, I'll be a leader. So if you guys have anybody that's like willing to do it, we probably are looking for 2 or 3 in each area, because I know I take vacation sometimes, so I'm not gonna be in Texas looking at
Just
it, so.
someone that is, they're good with their phone or their computer, and they're checking things so they can get that information out, someone that can kind of,
Yeah.
take their neighborhood under control. And it's not like no power trips or anything like that. We're just trying to get everyone organized to make our community better.
Yeah, we're not a vigilante.
We're
But
not,
we
we're
are-
not going out, and we're not
But we are
taking pitchforks and going to the back of a truck and getting that guy that sped through Kazi. We're not doing that stuff. The police are doing that.
Cover your ears.
So, allegedly. But,
got him.
anyway,
Any questions? Yes?
I know Aberdeen had, or does have like a volunteer group that goes out, and like if I'm gone, I could ask them to check my house.
Yes.
I'm assuming that might be available to us now.
It absolutely is.
Okay, so then, in the future, will the people who participate in this possibly be volunteers in that program?
They can sign up for that volunteer, as well so the public meetings that we're having, it's a whole hour presentation of what exactly the police in Aberdeen are doing. Actually, they've been coming and speaking, as well as our 911 dispatch team has been coming to speak as well, to cover all of that. But any of the Aberdeen, I'll let you speak, I guess.
So Chief Green,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Commander
Timmons,
Timmons. Wait, here we go.
Yeah.
So Commander Timmons, you did a great presentation with the group at the Lions Club. Would you like to add to it? And when you were talking about the 911 dispatcher who I listened to at the Lions presentation, I thought that was really good. I think it would be nice to have her out, kind of the guest speaker to really help people understand reporting.
Yeah, she is joining all of our public meetings that we're having for the group, yeah.
And so,
Yeah, she was
Commander
here at the
Timmons,
senior
if you'd
lunch,
like to
too.
add any to this, and I know, I do want to add to this. It was probably 7, 8 months ago, a one and only officer had applied to Aberdeen. And it took about 3 months to vet or, do that. And so, working with our chief, who counseled me in going the direction, because Aberdeen has been such an amazing partner for the last year and a half. And so, while change is hard, we have an amazing partnership. And you could talk a little bit about the VIP program right now, please? Because I know you'll be doing your report later.
So, yeah, we do a volunteer program, like you mentioned, it's open to any Causey resident wants to come join. We'd be more than happy to have you. We have 18 right now. And the vacation checks we do, we actually got our first Cosmopolis resident who put in for it, and then our volunteers yesterday checked the house, and so it was great. So yeah, and then like I said, our biggest thing is to make sure you report stuff, so we know, we have 3 to 5 officers on at a time. And so we just kind of go where the crime's at. So if we don't think things are happening, then we may not be here as much. But if things are occurring, we want to kind of nip it pretty quick. And so just please make sure you report it to 911, or you come to the station and report it there. So, and like Darren said, we have, with having us, we've got 38 officers available, detectives, K-9, investigators. We have a lot of resources that are available to all you. So we're just provide all the resources to drones, everything, yeah, we have a lot of stuff, so it's all available to make sure we provide the best service to protect.
According to that, if someone is filling out a form to ask for checks on their home while it's gone, is that form available here, or do we need to go to Aberdeen to get it?
It's online, so if you go to the City of Aberdeen Police Department website, there's a link. It's online reporting, there's a vacation checks, you just input your information, and then it goes to our volunteers, and our volunteers will follow up, and they're out. So we have some volunteers who are very committed, and they're out a lot. I'm sure you've seen them, so they're out a few days a week, till 2, 3 in the morning, and so they're checking, so. Yeah, it's an online report. You can come to the station as well, but it's also available online.
And we didn't want to start, we could have tried to do in the city, a watch program with a car and with uniforms and everything here, but that requires a lot of training and money for those things, and so, they're doing that for us. And I think it's gonna be fun. If we ever got to a point where we needed to do something like that, we could, but at this point, I think just us being together, I think we can do this.
Any other comments or questions? I will tell you, I follow Facebook, but try not to comment at all on it. And I know Aberdeen has been very present in the community, and I know that for a fact. As I was coming down the hill to come to work the other morning, I turned to my left, and now on Franklin, and there was an officer in a place that I've never seen one, and I had to check my speedometer, and I was okay. But it was a reminder, and I went home and told my husband, you better be paying attention to your speed. So, thank you.
And it is gonna be different, everyone that has a crime or is a victim of crime or something like that, or gets a ticket, has a time where they're not happy with law enforcement. There's gonna be times that you're upset, but let's give you the right place to talk to it and discuss why certain things happen, make good cases for the officers, because we're in competition with all of their calls too. And, the better product we can give them, the more time they can give to it, because they are busy, and we just have to do our best to help ourselves. All right, thank you.
And make sure
Thank
you
you.
stop at the stop signs. We have a lot of them.
Yes,
Not that I have any problems with that.
Thank you.
thank you very much. So we have about 8 minutes if anyone needs to take a break before we go into our council meeting. Thank you very much.
You guys.
We really appreciate it. Good to see you.
I'll be in touch with you.
Oh, yeah. I just want to let people know, 911 was here for senior lunch, so they left some of these, they're magnets for the refrigerator, and has a non-emergency number, so you can take one, they're available. So I'll just leave them up here, you can take one.
I couldn't tell you what emergency number is or non-emergency.
And if you do that, yep, there
But-
you are, you're
but-
talking now. So mute again.
It's 7.
Okay, I'd like to call the council meeting to order. Captain Timmons, would you please lead us in the flag salute?
Captain.
Commander Timmons.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Commander. So, here we are, 2026. It's been a busy 2 years. We thought we'd take a breath coming into 2026, and you can look at Katie and she'll confirm we've hit the ground running and we haven't stopped the last few weeks. And so tonight, we are welcoming back one of our council members and welcoming a new council member. And before we go into our meeting, Casey, will you please swear in our new members?
Councilmember Darcy, would you like to start since she's returning? Okay, please raise your right hand. I, Sue Darcy,
I, Sue Darcy,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
or affirm
or affirm
that I will support
that I will support
the laws of Washington State,
the laws of Washington State,
the Constitution of the United States,
Constitution of the United States,
and the Constitution of the State of
and
Washington,
the Constitution of the State of Washington.
and that I will faithfully
And I will faithfully
and impartially
and impartially
perform and discharge
perform and discharge
the duties of
the duties of
the City of Cosmopolis Position 5
the City of Cosmopolis, Position 5,
according to the law,
according to the law,
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, yes, we'll do our signatures after.
Okay.
And Steve Davis, or Councilman Davis? Ready? Please raise your right hand. I, Steve Davis,
I, Steve Davis,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
or affirm
or affirm
that I will support
that I will support
the laws of Washington State,
the laws of Washington State,
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the United States,
and the Constitution of the State of
and the
Washington,
Constitution of the State of Washington,
and that I will faithfully
and I will faithfully
and impartially
and impartially
perform and discharge
perform and discharge
the duties
the duties
of the office of City of Cosmopolis Position 4,
of the office of the City of Cosmopolis, Position 4,
according to law,
according to law,
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my abilities.
Thank you.
you.
We'll sign now.
Okay. This is Mayor Springer. It is Wednesday, January 21st, and it's 7 o'clock. I'm calling the meeting to order. Clerk Grove, will you tell us how many citizens are joining us online this evening?
We have 12 online, and also online joining us, Councilmember Nguyen is joining us online, and our city attorney, Chris Coker.
Okay, thank you. Clerk Grove, will you take attendance, please?
Yes, Councilmember Skinner,
Present.
Councilmember Nguyen,
Present.
Councilmember Spargo,
Here?
Councilmember Davis,
Here.
Councilmember Darcy.
Here.
Everyone is counted.
Okay, thank you. So at this time, we're going to move to approve our agenda. Is there a motion to approve the agenda for tonight's meeting? Please, a reminder, state your name when you make the motion.
Councilman Skinner, so moved.
Council Darcy seconds that.
Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none. Moving on to consent agenda. A motion to approve the consent agenda.
Council Darcy moves to approve the consent agenda.
Is there a second?
Councilman Skinner, second.
Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of approving the consent agenda, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay, moving on, new business. Item 1 is the 2026 contract.
Council
Oh,
comments.
I do that to you every time.
She does not want us to talk.
I guess that is.
And committee report, yeah.
Oh, I am missing. I think I missed it. Let me see. You think up to 2 years?
I knew if I mixed them up, I'd get lost.
I'll kick us off.
Council comments, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, council comments.
Good evening, everyone. I have 3 really brief comments for you. First, just want to welcome Councilman Davis and welcome back Councilperson Darcy. Pleasure to have you joining us. I also wanted to acknowledge, and I don't know if apologize is quite the right word, but I am still meeting with you virtually. And I've had some folks express, the desire to see me in person. And of course, I understand and appreciate that. I will be joining you virtually for a while still. Wednesdays are a really difficult day for me, in addition to a lot of other things. But I've already in 5 hours of meetings today before our meeting even began. So I appreciate your understanding and grace. And then I just wanted to quickly, as a final update, share some news that I received from the Department of Ecology. I did reach out to them in response to their invitation to sign up for updates on the Cosmo Specialty Fibers Mill Cleanup Project. So I'll be receiving updates for that. I encourage everyone to reach out to them and request to receive those updates if you're interested. And then I privately asked to receive some specific updates on the leaks and the effluent pipe that were mentioned at their presentation late last year. So they have shared with me a document that outlines a number of things about the project, including known leakage sites from the mill, and runs down part of First Street, down through kind of 3rd and G, and then 3rd and J, and then across to Aberdeen in the Reservoir Pond. But you can see on the map they've provided where those known leak sites are. They do emphasize that those are just the known sites, that there are also historic sites that they do not yet know about. I'll just read a little bit from the email that they sent to me. Please note that the report contains recently known leaks. There could be historical leaks not documented or reported given the mill's long history and existence before environmental regulations, but the cleanup action will include an investigation for those. I will share out that report with the mayor and other interested parties so that they can disseminate more broadly. And that concludes my comments. Thank you.
Any other council comments at this time? No? Okay. Okay, we're going to move on to committee reports, auditing committee.
Yes, the vouchers were looked at for December and everything looks fine there. It's nice to see the stack is smaller.
It is. Parks,
Finance.
Ms. Nguyen.
Yes,
Oh, finance.
we had a very productive meeting earlier this week. I'll try and hit just some of the highlights of that. So we reviewed the comprehensive parks plan that I believe this was initially finalized in 2020, 2021 by Mayor Pauly's administration. This is a 5-year plan, so we're due to update it. The parks plan is a very long paper document, but it's important for any kind of funding that we apply for, particularly grants. They expect to see this document. Most agencies want to know, what are you going to do with this money before we give it to you? So we're just in the process of updating that for accuracy and making any updates and corrections. And then we will shortly be opening up in some fashion, opportunities for the public to provide input and commentary on what would you like to see for the future of our parks. So we made a lot of progress. I think this document doesn't have page numbers, but I think it's probably about 70 or so pages, and we managed to get through almost the whole thing in about an hour, looking for updates. But one question that I know we raised that's outside of that is question that I think a lot of folks have is how can folks contribute to the parks or other aspects of the city in terms of if folks want to donate money or equipment. We already have kind of a well-established process for volunteering, donating labor, but that was one of the questions that came up, and so I think some folks would appreciate some guidance, particularly with respect to things like donating equipment and the L&I considerations that entails, but also funds. So that's something that we'll be looking into. Mayor, you may already have an answer to that, and welcome you to comment on that if you do, but I think that pretty well sums up what we covered at the meeting.
So I'll go ahead and comment if council is okay with that. So actually, everything that we've done in our parks to this point has been from grants that we've done or private donations. Drusianic has been very generous in donating. Kasky as far as repairing, doing equipment, and then again, if you walk in the lobby, you're going to see lots of pictures of Volunteer Hill. You guys will be on one hill soon. And so we had our insurer come out and look at equipment. We have to make sure that when equipment is ordered, that it is approved, it's park approved, and they checked all of our equipment, made recommendations. So there is a process here. And my park committee, they're new to this. Justin has been really working on this. Do you want to talk about the committee? Do you want to?
No, you hit the nail on the head, and Mr. Nguyen was able to kind of fill the gaps. I think we're on the right direction.
Yeah, so that's all I have. So as I said, we ask a lot of our citizens. I don't know if I'd be asking them for more donation because our pedal pushers, they do the corridor project and all of that. My goal is to work on find funding to continue and improve our parks. So that's my goal for this city moving forward. I think we ask a lot and citizens step up all the time. So anything else, Councilman Nguyen?
No, I think that'll be it for now. Thank you.
Okay, and then thank you, Councilman Skinner. He had finance on his next auditing. So is there a finance report, or will that come under you, Casey?
No, I just said I seen it on the committee reports, that's all.
I think what the finance and the auditing committee were kind of over sharing kind of the same information. Had been in the past, and so it was asked, why do we have two? So maybe that's where that came from, but if you have something separate from finance committee, please share.
Okay.
No, I do not.
Okay, thank you. So public safety.
Public safety, we have not had a meeting this month yet. Was kind of waiting for Councilman Davis to get sworn in. I understand that he is going to be a member of the Public Safety Committee. And I want to get on board with him, come up with a date that we can hold our next meeting. We've got volunteer from the city, Darren King, and Mark Collette, our past councilman, said he would still like to sit in on our public safety meetings with us and help out what he can. So I look forward to moving forward and making that happen.
And I'll do our official appointment for that, but you definitely should set on before that. Okay. Thank you. Public Works.
Yes, I got a report from Donnie about what's been going on for the last month, what he's been up to. He's spent a lot of time, there's been the sweeping and cleaning of the drains. The nice weather has definitely helped in that. I think all the trees have finally dumped all their leaves. He's been doing the dam operations and maintenance, park cleanup, normal rounds. And then we have he has finished with the, where is it, the dam inspection report has been completed and submitted to the Department of Ecology, and it is ahead of the deadline, so that was good to have that done. Equipment maintenance, service, and repairs are all being looked at to make sure the equipment is staying, working. The college is still working on, he is working with the diesel program, the college, and they are still working on the backhoe. And he's also working with Lauren for our rural water, around the stormwater system. They've been going around checking the drains, trying to pinpoint which drains are going to need to be lifted and repaired, because a lot of them have started to sag, as I'm sure some of you have noticed driving around. Don't take the corners too sharp. You don't want your tires dropping in any of them, so be careful driving around. But the goal is in the future is to try to look for some sort of grants or funding, street funding, to try and get those grates that are sunk down lifted up and repaired. So that is part of the list of that. And then there is the I&I problem, which is part of, Cosmo is kind of a part of that, as well as just trying to figure out where it is that we could try to alleviate some of that, because Aberdeen is getting quite a bit of it. And so I think it's just it, and then doing his rounds. Oh, and he did say that he is checking and the potholes up on Corbin. Not the only place we have potholes, but yes, the potholes try to get filled. But then, it's just tar, and it does kind of, start to break away, and it's just kind of an ever-ending kind of, the pothole goes away and then it comes back again. So we do know of them, and so they try to get filled and stay filled as long as they allow to stay filled. But yeah, that's it.
Okay, great. So, city officials report, Cliff Grove.
Nothing specific to report. We just, if you have any concerns regarding any of your billing or any issues of that, please give us a call. And kind of like the video, kind of like the slide up here, instead of going to the last step of Facebook first, please give us a call and report your problem or your question, and we're happy to answer that and assist you in any way we can. Just keeping the office moving and flow going, and some days that's a challenge in and of itself. And so that's what we're working on. And again, if you have any questions, please reach out to us. We'd love to answer those for you directly.
Okay, thank you. Chief Coker, our fire chief.
Police first.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, no, our fire chief, Coker, is excused tonight, and Pro Tem Mayor and Safety Committee Representative Councilman Skinner will be reading his report today.
Yes, he sent me an email, so I'll just read it verbatim. I apologize for not being able to attend the city council meeting tonight, as I am out of town for the week. Calls for service. Cosmopolis Fire Department had a total of 351 calls for service for the year of 2025. For the month of January through 26, there were 11 calls for service as of 1/18. Fire Academy, we currently have one member in the Regional Direct Fire Academy at South Beach Regional Fire Authority. This member is very excited to learn and is doing very well. Grace Harbor EMS EMT certification course. We currently have 3 members in the EMT class that is being hosted at the Grace Harbor EMS office. These 3 members are working hard on learning emergency medicine on a BLS level, BLS EMT. The 3 members participating in this course are working hard and doing a great job. I would like to thank the 4 members that are dedicating their time for roughly 5 months completing their training to be able to better serve this community. They have agreed to long hours, lots of hard work and dedication to getting this completed. But I have no doubt that they will conquer the task and come back and serve the community with professionalism and pride. Then last is the EMS agreement for 26-27 with Aberdeen Fire Department has been placed on hold for a time being, as we were notified of a change with the EMS utility rates in the city of Aberdeen. During the discussion with Aberdeen, we will be proposing a 6-month EMS agreement that mirrors the 2025 EMS agreement to the council. During this 6-month agreement, the city of Cosmopolis and the city of Aberdeen will negotiate a new agreement to propose to both councils. Respectively, Jacob Corker, Fire Chief. Excuse me. That is his report.
Thank you. So next we have Commander Timmons for your report.
So far since January 1, there's been 55 service request calls in Kazi, but of those, 10 are traffic stops, and that also encompasses paper service, other things. So the actual number of calls is down to like 32, and those were basically traffic hazards, parking, animal complaints, and whatnot. I met with Donnie this morning, actually, about the speed signs. We're gonna place 2 speed signs up on First Street. Right now, I think we're looking at First and G for the southbound, and First and E for the northbound. And those are the radar speed boxes, like you come into Aberdeen, you see it on the right, it just displays your speed. So the goal is to get it coming both ways, to get people to slow down as they come through the city. So the plans to have those hopefully installed by next week. I did meet with our public works today, and she's gonna help Donnie kind of get things figured out and help them get those installed. So the plan is by end of next week, have those up and running. And we did have our first vacation check, it's available to the city of Cosmopolis residents, so you go online. And if you're away, you can volunteers check in your house, and we had one submitted, so our volunteers, as of yesterday, were checking on our residents. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you very much. So, Building Inspector Cedar.
In your packet, you should see my year-end report. We had a total for last year of 68 permits that were issued for a total valuation of $8,100,188.99. The permit fees that were collected totaled out $80,705.33. Of that $80,000, $51,000 of that was from the Grace Harbor, from the Cosmopolis Grade School seismic upgrade, which I just finalized. I did receive a phone call or an email from an architect, so it looks like they are moving forward on the second phase of the grade school, which I think encompasses the other 3 buildings, the cafeteria, the gymnasium, and then not sure what's
the theater. The theater.
Theater, yeah. In response to Sue's comment about the potholes on Corbin, I did talk to Gary Schwartz today, and he had indicated that he is hoping that this summer he is going to fix the portion that he's responsible for on Corbin. So there's some news there. But as far as the permits go, anybody has any questions, comments?
Your report got into the packet.
Yeah.
Oh, it did?
No, but yeah.
I didn't have anything.
I gave it to Kinsey. And
That's all right,
no.
yeah.
Oh, sure.
It did not get
Kenzie's not here.
So it is not in your
That's all
packet,
right.
we can supply that for you.
And Bill,
Okay.
she's online tonight, so.
Kenzie's right here.
No problem.
Okay. So, no questions there for the mayor's report. Tonight, before I do it, Roger from LeMay is here, and we have a 7-year contract, so we're still under contract. But I have to tell you, he's been just a pleasure to work with. He's provided services that we couldn't afford this last year, and Roger, would you like to come up and share a little information about that? And we're looking forward to those services this year. So.
And I don't have a polished demonstration like you have. For that. A little bit of history, LeMay's has been doing garbage in Grays Harbor since mid-60s. I really don't know when we started doing Cosmopolis, but I've been working there for over 30 years. And during that time, we've always provided that service. It's kind of over the years though, things have changed obviously. The needs of the people, the needs of the citizens, needs of the industries that are in this town. So, and just the industry itself has changed a lot, whether from providing different size services, making the recycle systems better. There had been a time when there was just the 3 bins or multiple bins where you had the different commodities in there. And we changed to the carts, which has it increased the people's recycling a lot that way, because it just made it easier, and then we're able to sort it out in other buildings. Through these changes, it's been by demand of the citizens, demands of the industry, demands of companies, but also demands of safety too. We really take pride in keeping our employees safe and the public safe. You guys, we have no interest in having damages or injuries or anything with our employees or people. So we've changed a lot over the years, and I'm sure there'll be changes going forward also. But I think over the years, we've demonstrated that we are up for the changes, providing what is needed. We've been asked by the city, citizens, industries to just help out in different areas, and I think that we've always been able to do that, and I appreciate the kind words that the mayor said as I was coming up. We provide different size services, all the way from little cans to large cans. The whole goal with having provided garbage service for a city like this is to keep the city clean, to have it clean and respectful, and I will have to tell you, Causey is one of those cities that is, by the citizens and just the way that it is operated here. We've helped out on cleanups of the park. We have some special services for senior discounts. They're not as well as, I want to change those so they're better, but right now they are there. They're about a $4.20 discount per month, depending on the service. It's kind of limited to the service that is provided there, but I'd like to change that in the future to make it better. I just feel that over these years, it's been a lot of years, and I don't really think of it as a business in a city. I think of it more as a partnership, and I think that we've proven that too, through the different administrations, through the city, and through the different needs of the citizens and the community, so.
And one of the things, so many of the citizens, we had the spring cleanup, and as you all know, we didn't have the funds. And so a conversation with Roger, yes, I think it was $1,800.
$1,500 a year.
$1,500, and so we put that out last year, and you come in and you get your voucher. I was surprised, I thought we had vouchers left when we kept putting it out. Take advantage of it, it's spring cleanup, it's great. And when he talked about the park, so Earth Day, we are partnering with the college forestry program, we really are going to promote that. Mill Creek needed a lot of cleanup, and there was probably 3 dump truck loads of debris that needed to come out, and we were able to take it to LeMay's at no cost. So, thank you. We really appreciate that.
Like I said, I believe it's more of a partnership, keeping the city clean, and that's what our job is.
Thank you.
And safe too, doing it safely.
And he gave us a great box of chocolates for Christmas. So thank you. All right.
Roger, the senior discount or rebate, or however it works on that, the rate for them, as we heard the PUD do their presentation, talking about the different ways that people can, and the seniors, and how they can go about it. And I know from being a past employee that we had walk-in service or the rate cut service for different people. We are holding now, you might have heard, senior lunches here every Tuesday. And that would be a place that maybe you or one of your representatives can come down, give an explanation of what those services are for the seniors. I know that there's a number to call and get through to that, to do it, but just an opportunity to connect again with some more of our senior community here.
And like I said, I'd like to make that a better discount, more, provide more services that applies to.
Right.
But right now, it's limited to that throughout all our contracts, but, and there's other services of, free walk-in service for disabilities and,
Yeah,
there are different things out there.
right,
But
right.
So, yeah, that's a great idea. They have a pretty good turnout for their senior lunches every Tuesday from 12 to 1. Kay Bramstead oversees that lunch, so just call. Either me or I'll give you Kay's contact information. She'd love to have you here.
And they probably even serve you lunch.
I was gonna say, I always like food. And I'm
It's really-
I'm kind of almost at senior citizen age anyway, so I might just start practicing that.
It's good.
Okay, any other
Thank you.
questions? Okay, so, lots of changes, there's gonna be more changes. If this city is going to move forward and be stable, change has to happen. It's not easy, but I think we are on a good path. And everyone's working very hard, we're working very lean. We can't get any leaner than what we are, but with that, with not having our police here in Cosmopolis, the question come up several times. What are we going to do? We have an empty police building. Citizens are paying for that. Well, we are already working on it. So I want to give you an update on doing the research on the process of renting this space under RCW 35A-11-020. Cities have the authority to lease municipal property. We do not have to put out an RFP. Those are optional but not mandatory for leasing a space like this. And there will be limitations on who will be considered when we begin the process. This will we have the square footage, we've looked at fees. When we get all that, we've had a couple agencies that would be good fits. And so we will be putting that out. We'll be meeting with the council, presenting them more information. But I would say by March, we should have someone in that building. And so it'll be a good transition. And if any, it looked like $15,000 to $20,000 a year that we can rent that space. So that will really help, kind of support and money going. People making comments and they're really not informed, or they don't show up for the budget presentation. We have a very good CPA that breaks it down every time. But we did meet, the sewer team met Thursday, January 15th. These meetings have been ongoing. There's a lot of tough things, I think, as we meet. It's not just about resolving and paying, but it's really how do we serve our citizens? That's the bottom line here. And we have to think how this impacts you when we make decisions. And we hope by the end of first quarter, this contract will be resolved. One of the things I want to remind you, I read on Facebook, there's a citizen that has proof that we didn't owe money to Aberdeen. Well, folks, again, this has probably been repeated numerous times. We did. We had a contract that started in 2010 and ended in 2013. And we're going to reiterate this a few times as we go into negotiate, so people really understand. So in 2024, we writing in 21, in 22, $129,249, and in 23, $324 and some odd. So that was 24. Contract ended. The 10-year contract, they paid in the real. They always paid a year behind. So in 24, we came in with no money. And so where did your sewer money go? It paid this. okay? $494.24 that paid for 21, 22, 23. We recently made a payment of $400,000 toward the end, I think it was November, December, to Aberdeen. That went to 24, and then a portion of that to 25. So I do need to tell you, that's not capital improvement that original contract had in it. That, we could manage that. But that contract and the capital improvements that we're obligated to put the city in a very difficult situation. And so that's why as there'll be special meetings, there'll be council meetings. We're going to be calling special meetings in the next few months to really get this hammered out. But I want you to know, this hasn't been easy, many sleepless nights, because this is about taking care of you, the citizens. And we want to do our best job to help this city be stable and move forward. So if you have a question, and we talk about social media, thank you, Stephanie, thank you, Casey, please come into the office. I have never not returned a phone call, and if I miss one, I apologize, but my goal is always, we are there to answer questions. We are available. So, Councilman Nguyen talked about the Department of Ecology. There were some papers on the table. The council, I gave it to them. As you know, the Department of Ecology has a public card for Cosmo specialty fibers, and it is open to February 19th. The public meeting and hearing will be February 11th at 6 p.m. And I think, thinking about it, maybe there's people that come in, if they're registered and they don't have the technology or don't know how to do it, so they can be informed. And so, I want to encourage you to reach out, to get involved, make your comments on that. I met with EPA earlier this month. It was on the 5th. They reported day one. They are the
Looks like we're having some technical difficulties, folks. Please hang in there.
message me.
Yeah. I messaged, I teed you back up. You go.
Okay, so we've had Timberland Library services here in Cosmopolis for the last 2 years. I'm really excited about it. They are here once a month, and they provide the full range of services. It's not just getting a book, it's a number of services. And they are here the last Tuesday of the month. They come during the senior luncheon. You can come, you can bring your grandkids, you can bring, you don't needed the council to sign off. And I was like, we're getting close to the holidays, and I'd put in some long hours. And so we called a special meeting. We followed all the regulation because we had a quorum. It was open to the public. I just want to let our citizens know, our council, remind them that they did, I think it was 2 maybe ago, we do not have to have council approval when we write a grant, unless we write a grant that is an in-kind match. And absolutely, that has to come before the council. So if I'm working on a grant, I could be home, but I want you to know we're working on the grant to provide improvements in our community at no cost to the citizens of that. And so this particular grant, the Washington State Historical Cemetery grant, was for almost $19,000, and I didn't know that. I didn't know that that's the Forest Hills Cemetery. And interesting, Mike Brown said, I was talking to him the other day, and he said, I didn't know it was called that, and it's never had a sign. So part of the grant is for signage on the fence, signage on the building, and a kiosk that will really help inform families and visitors where people are buried. And then the building, hopefully, if we are awarded this grant, we'll have a new, nice metal roof that will last. It will have new windows, it will be painted, and, we definitely deserve that. So let's hope we get that. We'll find out in February. The other grant that I'm currently working on that is due the end of February, 1st of March, is a community foundation grant to replace the claiming toy at Lions Club. So I will keep you updated on that. And I think that's all. I know it was a lot, but Friday, I'm gonna be on Johnny Manson from 8 to 9. If you want to call and you have more questions, or you'd like to hear, or, to let you know, I'll be there. And then I think that's it. Okay, thank you. We'll move on to new business. At this time, I have we all seem to be shuffling papers tonight.
I'll go through the two-sided.
I know. Let's see.
It's here.
Here's mine. So, as you know, Tara Dunford came in when I came into office, it was apparent we needed a set of idle finances. And I think we did a good job in finding our CPA. She works for a lot of municipalities. She's provided the city a lot of insight and guidance in how we spend. We don't make any kind of purchase out of the norm or anything big without consulting with her. And so we have the old contract, and when she presented to council, she is paid by the hour. We only pay her when she works for us. It's not a set cost. And so last year, she was not to exceed $19,500. Actually, we paid her this is for December, $14,235. And I have to tell you, because we've gone through a transition with the clerk cashier position, really getting someone into that knows municipalities. Tara really had to step up, probably putting a lot more hours in than what she needed. And so I've been very grateful. I think she's saved the city a lot of money. She's looked at numbers, and I think we all can agree, when she does a presentation, we can read it and we can understand it. And so we have a new contract before us. There's a few increases, like everything else. It goes up a little bit more. I think our hour rate is $205 from, what was it, $195, and not to exceed $20,500. She won't exceed that, let me tell you. And then her travel time, $350 per day when she comes down. And a lot of time it's Zoom, but when we need her here in the office, especially during budget season or training for our staff, she was here. So even with what she thought her contract might go to, she was well under. And I would expect that she would be under that quite a bit this year. So the council will be looking at that. Are there any questions from council at this time regarding that? Okay. So then the next thing on that is, online, we have our attorney, Chris Coker, and he's going to speak to item 2, ordinance 1403. Chris?
Yes, Mayor, members of the council. So the Business License Service came out with a new model ordinance for business licenses. It was to be effective January 1st. We're a little bit late, but it's not a big deal. Basically, what they did is they raised the threshold for the minimum amount for out of town business from $2,000 to $4,000, and they also put in additional changes, which will be automatic inflationary adjustments every 4 years. So those adjustments are going to kick in automatically. And then when we pass the ordinance, the city clerk will send it over to the Business License Service, and then we'll get all that set up. So this is a model ordinance that I think every other city I represent has adopted.
Okay, thank you. And are there any questions from council?
So the 2,000 to 4,000 is basically kind of like just helping out the smaller businesses, basically, raising that threshold, right?
I mean, yeah, I don't know it seems to be to make it, because a $2,000 per year business is pretty small. And so I think it's just to kind of make it so it's somebody making some money by running a business to meet a little bit higher of a threshold before the license requirements kick in.
There, and then nothing else, doesn't look like nothing else changed in that ordinance then, right? Yeah. Yeah, looks good. I don't see anything else.
And then, any other questions or comments? Okay, item 3, Councilmember Skinner.
This is again to go over the EMS agreement, the update that and go along with what to us about the 6-month agreement. I've read what's went on with Aberdeen, and it's a paper mess. They didn't do the right public hearing meeting years ago, and so they're trying to catch up and figure out just what it is. And that's why we've asked for the extension to keep us at the current rate for the next 6 months, and then we will negotiate again when they finally come up with what their rate is going to be on the deal. So that's what we're looking forward to do in this vote tonight, is just to
I will open the floor for public comment for agenda items only. Please state your first name, and you will have 3 minutes.
Carl, you know me, I'm on Bell Drive. One comment on the B&O tax. One thing I would suggest, recommend, ask the council to do in the first paragraph of the nicely written epistle, it says the B&O tax is due on the 15th of the month. Now, as Mr. Davis, I'm sure can attest, I file quarterlies for a dozen different taxing authorities, where I work part-time, and they're all at the end of the month. Why are we at the 15th? Could that be amended to bring it in line with about everybody else I know?
And we can look into that and get back to you.
Well, I think the attorney's right online now, and perhaps he could address that and get him to kick in on it. Everybody else in a dozen, at least, they're all at the end of the month. Why are we at the middle of the month? And I'll be honest, I didn't know that until I read the new proposed ordinance and compared it to the old ordinance. It's 15th of the month, and I've been doing it 2 weeks late for a few years, and of course, nobody sends out B&O notices here, so it doesn't make any difference, I guess.
Yeah, it looks like that was done in 1979, so it's about, that's.
Well,
Yeah, so it just looks like that paragraph probably just got passed over, which I would think, Chris, that might be something that we can look at.
Chris, I know.
I'm not gonna, I don't know at this point, because it's an ordinance that we get sent to us that we adopt. So it's a model ordinance. I don't know, I can't give an opinion as to whether or not we have the ability to adjust the dates, because this all coincides with the business license services, which is through Department of Revenue. So I can't say that that's something we can just do.
I know, reading ordinances from other cities, they say the end of the month, so I don't know. I guess we can be special.
Okay, Chris, thank you. Any other comments this evening? All right. New business.
Hold on,
Moving
Mayor, one question. Maybe the gentleman can send me one of the ordinances from the other cities, and I'll take a look at it.
I'll try and look that up, Chris, and I'll get that in the next day or two.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments? Any other information? Okay. So we are going to move on to new business council action. Is there a motion to approve the 2026 contract for Tara Dunford, the city CPA?
Councilmember Davis, have read the contract and move to approve signing the contract with Tara Dunford.
Is there a second?
Aye, Councilman Skinner, second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed?
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay. Next, is there a motion to adopt the ordinance 14 taxes?
Aye, Councilman Skinner. Propose adopting ordinance 1403 business and operation tax.
Councilor Darcy will second that.
Is there any discussion?
Yeah, we just had a member of the audience and also the city attorney ask for some clarification on that, so I would think we might want to table that to the next.
Chris, is there any discussion or any input that you would like to provide on that?
Just, we need to get it passed so we can get the information into the Department of Revenue. Again, it's a model ordinance. I haven't looked at the particular dates on when things are due, so it's up to the council at this point.
I think we could come back with a update, do it again when we actually find out, what that is. And then I think we could come back and have that change implemented and then vote again for that particular change. But if this is something we need to do as far as the deadline, then I think we should at least move forward with this part of it, and then we can come back and address the change when we actually have that information.
Okay.
That's my view.
Any other discussion? Okay. Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Councilman Wynn? Any opposed?
Sorry, I did
Hearing
say
none?
aye, but I've got a little bit of lag.
That's okay. Okay, so pass. So motion 3, is there a motion to approve the extension of the EMS contract with the city of Aberdeen?
Yeah, Council Darcy moves to approve the extension of the EMS contract with Aberdeen.
Councilman Skinner seconds.
Is there any discussion?
I have a question on compensation under Article 2. It's 2.2, additional compensation, patient transportation. It says in there that the transportation of individual EMS patients by Aberdeen may charge Cosmopolis at the current rates adopted by the Aberdeen City Council. And this is in addition to the EMS availability fee. So if they actually do a transport, there's a fee involved in that also. And it says they can charge Cosmopolis. And I'm curious if we've been charged by Aberdeen in the past.
So that would be a question if you'd like to make an appointment, and I can give that to you. I don't have that, and that is something we would have to look at. Come into the office and ask that. Right now, we are just making a motion to move forward with our current contract that we had last year, our services in place. Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Okay,
Roll call.
okay.
Councilmember Nguyen, were you voting for or against?
Voting for.
Okay,
For,
I'm voting aye. Sorry, there is a bit of lag in the
Okay.
Zoom.
Yeah, that's what.
okay. Working through the kinks. So, one more time, all those in favor?
Aye.
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 All those opposed?
Aye.
Nay.
So the motion passes. Okay. Public comments at this time. Again, state your name and 3 minutes. Hearing none, we'll move on to council comments.
I didn't do this at the first of the meeting. Now, year 3, we're starting. Year 2 is over of our terms. We have 2 new members. Again, welcome Councilman Davis, welcome back Councilman Darcy, and welcome back all the volunteers and the people that have showed up, taken their time to step forward and help the city of Cosmopolis through a transition period. It has been ongoing since day one, and it isn't done yet. And we need the input. We need the citizens to step up, just like Causey Cares has stepped up, and other people. And I remember from Chief Lehman talking about 175, whatever it was, and trying to break down, did we have that much crime? And no, are for all different kinds of things. Somebody that is restricted to a wheelchair might have fell out of their chair. They get a call. That is a call of service to the police department, service to the fire department, whoever can respond to those. It's not, we didn't want it to sound like we're ravaged with crime, that our police were called out 300 times in a month. All types of services they took care of, and Aberdeen will do the same thing for us. I think this program that Causey Cares has put together, I had questions off the first part of it, and the more I've listened to them, I was part of the presentation, or able to listen to the presentation at the Lions Club and now here again. I think they really mean well, and they're on the right track for making things happen. I hope we work hand in hand through the city along with this group, and we can take care of this little town. Everybody can work to take care of it. And again, I appreciate everybody. I appreciate the work this last year, 2 years that the staff has done. There's been trying times in there. Many times, all of us can attest, we've come down and told the mayor to go home. You've been here too many hours. You know, it wears on everybody when you are in the position that you're in. But with the help from the business community out there and our own people, we'll make it through it. We'll make it. We'll move forward. This sewer and water system, boy, oh boy, it is like any other part of bureaucracy. It takes forever. It drags on, and you wish it could be done. But there's not one simple answer for it. It takes a lot of work and a lot of collaboration between, right now, 2 cities and their councils and their committees trying to make this happen and what's best for everybody. We want what's best for Cosmopolis, to take care of Aberdeen in the process. So we can't avoid them, and we just need to be a collective group that says, here is why and here's what the steps are that we're gonna go through to move forward. So we'll keep going and keep negotiating, and hopefully we're all trying to get things wrapped up here before end of spring or something, I hope, along those lines. I sure hope so, that we can wrap this project up. It's been going on for way too long. And anyway, again, appreciate everybody and what they've done. And
temporary situation, obviously there is going to be talks, so maybe if there's any questions, then the Public Safety Committee could look at this and look at what different verbiage may need to happen around that, gather your information, and then take it to the Public Safety Committee, and then look at what a new contract should look like if you see something in there that doesn't work.
Right.
So that would
Good
be
point.
good to make, yeah.
Good point.
Yeah,
Yep.
because this is just for 6 months, just to get us through.
And it's the same.
Yeah, and,
contract.
yeah, and it's the one we signed last year, so, I would just say moving forward that everything is still open. It can be changed for whatever it is in the next
Yeah,
6
we'll
months, so,
negotiate.
yeah. So we can always look at making changes if we need to.
Sue, and I was going to ask you, do you want to do just a brief, how things are
Oh, yeah,
going with the
the
food
food
pantry?
pantry is still going. Well, I wasn't sure if January came around, holidays, everyone's always very giving. Holiday, after the holidays, it kind of dropped considerably. But, so I was thinking I was going to have to shut it down in January and then do some fun throughout the rest of the year. But all of a sudden, some people stepped up, and Ocean Shores is still giving me some items, usually a truckload or a trunk load in my car. And some donating them in and stuff, so I'm good through, I think, probably getting through the next month in February, still good. I've had another citizen has brought in bread to donate, and so it's been, yeah, so far right now, I'm doing okay to get through another month, I think. And I think up to date, it's been somewhere like around 150 bags of food have gone out, and so we get about a dozen a week. And so, yeah, so it's going good, and I show up at I'm here during the senior lunch too, and so any seniors that are here, there are a couple that take them, and that way they don't have to come back later and do it, so, yeah, so it's been going good.
And I have to tell you, she shows up here and I'm like, what are you doing here? Someone calls her and needs food. She comes in, makes up a bag and delivers it. Thank you, Sue, for
Thanks.
going that
Yeah.
extra mile. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Council Darcy. I just want to really quick, are you done? I don't want, sorry, I might have stepped on your
Oh,
toes.
yeah, I'm done, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't say this too often and not publicly enough, but I also wanted to echo Councilman Skinner's sentiments about, the appreciation I have for all these folks who are working really hard and doing really honest work for the benefit of the city. So good way to kick off the new year is just to express my appreciation to all of you. A little less gratitude for the internet connection right now. Maybe something we'll need to look at moving forward if we're gonna make this our new meeting space.
Thanks.
Thank you. Councilman Davis?
Yep, I'd like to say thank you for the support, and I consider it a true privilege and an honor to serve and represent the citizens in Cosmopolis again. I do appreciate Mayor Springer and all the council and for all the work that they serious progress has been. And during wind economic activity here, and kind of have that supporting local jobs and local businesses as best we can. I'm going to keep pushing transparent government that reflects the spirit of Washington's open public meetings and encourages and benefits our citizens to be involved in our government here. I really feel like we should consider, with everything we have in front of us as a council, about maybe returning back to 2 council meetings per month. It was that way for a long time here in our community, and it went away. But I believe that oversight and being able to try to speed the process of government up a little bit, 2 meetings a month may help. I know that you can always call a special meeting when there's something there, but I think that should be a valid consideration moving forward. But again, I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments? Okay. Well, if there is nothing else, I am going to, I'm going to make a motion to.
Is there a motion?
Is there a
Council
motion
Darcy
to adjourn?
moves to adjourn.
Second, Councilman.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, please, council. you
Oh,
want me to
sign.
Yes, I need
your
the two of
contract?
you to sign.
Well, then, are they at the jail? Or do you want
I don't know.
those ones again?
Wouldn't it be that he's been on his feet a few miles today?
Yeah.
A little bit, some of them.
What majors did you get?
Don't know yet. The league is drafting. I'm sorry,
Good to see you.
Yeah, good seeing you. Good seeing you.
25 on these, I don't know.
I did have an offline question.
26.
Yeah.
I know.
So far, last year I had.
I know, because when I called up to elections to make sure, when they're like, oh, when they sign in, just email them into a text, and I'm like, okay. And then when I got this out of your
It's not my job to
and
fix
then
everything.
I
It hurts to see my baby.
Sue brought hers in, and I'm like, they both say 25, because I thought maybe, so I just wrote a line through it, I'm like, that's all I can do, what do I want?
They discharged and they went, oh, he did do a lot. Maybe we should have been nicer
Because
to him.
I didn't create this, you know, that's what I'm saying. I don't-